Okay, this is beginner TempleOS video number 2. Video number 2 for beginners. Okay, so let's look at the command line a little bit. Now, you probably want to, well, you want to learn Control M, and then you can go to the icons. But if you want to move files around and stuff like that, then hit F1 and go to command line help, and this tells you, this will get you started. So the syntax is C++. So if you don't know that, basically that means the commands are C functions, and they are terminated with a semicolon. And if you look at the you want to look at the header, you want to look at where the source code is for the command. So Control F1, that'll bring up that'll bring this back up in case you closed it. And then if we want to look at the dir command, it has two arguments, a mask and a boolean. Boolean is true or false. A mask is a string, is what it's called, and you put it in double quotes. So let's go to the command line. I'm going to hit Shift Escape. That's what we learned last time. Shift Escape. Now dir. Now if I say TOS star, that means all the files. That means that's the mask, and it lists all the files that begin with TOS. Now if I say dir TOS star comma true, remember the second parameter was, then we get date, time, size. Here here it includes year, but it also includes a cluster. You probably don't need to worry about that. Anyway, so the idea is if you want to copy a file, then go look at the parameters, the arguments, the source file, the destination, the source file mask, destination mask. Okay, so remember they go in quotes. So we can say TOS star. Now I'm going to copy over to the B drive. If you remember DOS, you know what this is, but if you don't know DOS, let's see what this does. So I'm going to copy all from the current directory, which is what we just listed right here, which is home. Home is listed down here. You see it says home, to the B drive. What's the B drive? Well, I didn't like that. Oh, you don't do the star. I'm sorry. But now you know, don't do the star. So you can tell I don't do this very often. Okay, so Control D, or come up here to the file manager, and you can move files around. Perhaps you can do it more easily. So the B drive is up here, and it has, this is a RAM disk. Anyway, so now you're going to have C and D. I have D and E, but anyway, B is a RAM disk. Now you can click on the help for the go up to the help for the file manager. So if we want to make a directory, D, make directory. So come down here, let's say D. I pressed D, and I'm going to say temp. Okay, now we have a temp directory. Now you can pick up individual files and drop them into the directory. I just dropped 1, I just dropped 2, I just dropped 3. Now if I click that, they're inside that directory, that folder. We call them directories. Anyway, so that's a folder. Okay, so if you want, I don't know if this works. Let's see what happens if we pick a bunch of them. Control copy, Control C, and come up here. Let's put them here. Control V. Okay, so we just copied several. Be careful. This file manager is a death trap, but you can copy and delete if you hit the delete key. Okay, we just deleted that. So the RAM disk is temporary. Obviously, when you turn off the computer, the RAM disk disappears. So that's why I'm using it to play around with. So what else is there? You can, whoops, click on the help. Okay, so rename file R, make directory. You might be able to hit enter when you're on top, and then you can do various things to it. You can delete it. You can include means to run it. We'll get to that in a second. So remember, Shift Escape aborts and exits. So I'm going to do Shift Escape. Okay, so F1, and then let's go to down here where it says command line routines. So these are all the commands you typically run at the command line. There's actually no distinction between a command and between any sort of function can be executed at the command line. So in other words, all the commands can be executed at the command line. But these are the ones that are most commonly considered command line. Change disk, if you have a removable media. Well, you can read the description here. I hit F1. So the obvious ones that are common are copy. Now you should learn about copy tree. There's copy and there's copy tree, and there is move, and there is there's delete and delete tree. There's no rename, believe it or not. Do you want to know why? Because let's go. I'm going to change directory, and I'm going to go to the B drive root directory. Now I can do a directory dir. Now there's no rename. Do you want to know why? That's because when you rename to a non dot, if it doesn't have .z, it has to uncompress the whole file. So it's well, you can type move, but you never want to type move. You want to hit carriage return on top and then move. Let's get rid of the .z, see what happens. Okay, so I got rid of the .z off TOS Atom. Now if I do a directory, look at that. Now it's 3.5. Up here, TOS Atom is 1E. This is hexadecimal. I guess you're just going to have to learn it. If you want to convert, say type. If you want to convert from hexadecimal to decimal, just type it at the command line like that. 0x. So that's 13. So that's the new size. The old size was 0x. The old size was 7.6. So it compressed it almost in half. So if it ends in .z, it's stored compressed. We just moved it to a non-compressed. So you can see that simply renaming actually might involve compressing or uncompressing. So if I move it back to a .z, it has to compress it. Therefore, we don't simply rename. We have to use move, because it has to create a new copy and then delete the old copy. We can't just change the directory name. Anyway, so now what other files? F1, or what other commands? Let's see. So command line routines down here. Mount. Well, this is roughly similar to Unix, not really. Anyway, move. There's edit. You want an ed on top of a command lets you do edit. I'm sorry, what am I saying? Shift exit, shift edit. Ed quote temp. Whoops. I liked it. Let's see. so you can edit a file. I typed ed, so now we do directory. Remember I hit escape, not shift escape when I exited. So if I do some work in here, work, now I hit escape. So I hit carriage return here, or well, I hit spacebar here. But to create the first version, you type edit. I can do this again. Oh, you can go back up on top and hit and re-execute a command. Shift escape. So how about that?